Okay, this is the Oakland Grand Prix in the end of September. So, end of the season, everyone's in top shape. Race is a lot spicier than what you'll find in any early season crits. Here, right at the start, we're approaching this hairpin turn. And I'm pointing this out because that is the defining aspect of this course. In the top left, you can see the course map, and it looks just like a plain old rectangle, but that hairpin turn is definitely a hairpin, and we're going to watch it a few more times as we kind of go through this course, but just want to call that out, that that is the place where, at least I set out to, play the most strategically, because it is kind of the only defining element. And it is right after the start, and or right after the finish line. Okay, so here we are going into lap number 2. That entire first lap, I was pretty much holding the wheel of Camille on my team on sprinkles, and going into the second lap, I wanted to be the first person to kind of go into that turn. The positioning going into this hairpin was, I would argue, and is like the most important part of this course. And being first or second wheel, if it's a wheel you trust, ends up putting you in a good position where you can kind of just roll right through. And as you could see, I held, above 18 miles per hour that entire turn, which I found really hard to do if I was like second or third wheel. So what happened behind me is that we gapped the field, and I decided to go for it. I had kind of shouted back to Camille. I was like, hey, don't follow me. I'm going to send it. And then I spent the next 10 minutes kind of time trialing, and I just skipped a whole section because I don't want you to watch me for 10 minutes. But basically, I think that was probably my biggest mistake in this race, was just deciding to go for it that early on. Um, and eventually I just let them catch me, and here we are, like a fifth or so into the race. And I decided to just like recover and bring my heart rate back down. You can see my heart rate kind of bounced up to the mid 180s, and that was not the right place to be this early on in the race. So now that we are together again, you can start seeing some race antics starting. So there, Eclipse had attacked on the right, and then Sophia, who's the woman I'm right behind, she decided to go and close that gap. Here we can see Sophia play really well into this turn. So she came in perfectly cornered and then attacked right on the straightaway. I think that worked really well. We ended up gapping slightly. It wasn't quite enough, but definitely helped us realize that like this move of going through the turn well, accelerating out of the turn, could gap the field, and potentially something we wanted to try later on in this race. So, as I was saying in the beginning, this is an end of the season crit, so people have some more of their technical skills down and their racing skills down, and was super excited to kind of see us play out some of these tactics. So here on the right, you see Liz attacking, and our team is not chasing her, right? So you never want to chase your teammates, and basically what that means is you want the other team to wear themselves out chasing you down. If you chase your own teammates down, that kind of defeats the entire purpose. So perfectly played out, right? Liz attacked, Terun followed, and then Sophia chased the chaser. And it was just cool to see this folding out because the whole season, I don't think I'd seen anything like this in like a 3-4-5 race, or when I was racing 4-5s in a 4-5 race. So it was exciting. Definitely one of the top crits at this level that I participated in. Okay, so as promised, I wanted to highlight a few of the best cornering I saw. So here you can see Sophia again taking the turn really, really well, and gapping the Terun rider, making her work extra hard to kind of close that gap. The other one I wanted to highlight was from this Eclipse rider, and wow, her turn, I'm going to slow it down and play it again, was the smoothest one I saw all day. So major props to her. You can see the speed here, and she holds above 20 the entire time. Even when I was riding this solo, I was not holding that speed. So it just made her a shout out for being a really good wheel to follow the entirety of the race. This next attack here, you'll see on the left, rune attacks, I found super impressive. So she takes this like wide attack, and Susan from our team hauls ass to chase it down, and I found that also super impressive. Definitely saved my legs there. I was worried I was going to have to close it, but she was there, perfectly positioned, brings me right back up to Terun, and I'm able to just like post on her wheel and kind of catch my breath and continue going. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of attacking, a lot of chasing, and the entire race continues to just be this dynamic. So jumping ahead a bit, here we have Liz out in the front. I don't know if you can see her. She had a fantastic attack, and then Eclipse is chasing her down. We have 3 laps to go. I'm in second wheel, and our goal as a team was really to get me to podium and to be first. So I was kind of starting to look around and like, okay, what's our plan? How are we going to get our riders out in the front to position me? At the same time, I saw this Eclipse rider kind of just pulling me a full lap. I was a little confused. I don't know why she was doing this so close to the end, but I wasn't going to complain. So now there's 2 laps to go. I'm positioned first into that tight turn. Lovely. But then I realized, okay, shoot, I'm in first wheel. I need somebody to come in front of me. So right as I was starting to have that kind of panic thought, Sophia pulls in right in front of me, anxiety gone, and she continues to pull me for the rest of that lap. Okay, so we're about to head into the final lap, and here, unfortunately, there does end up being a crash right in that tight turn. I don't end up seeing it. I did hear something, but it basically meant that my team was not going to be there for me to help coordinate the lead out. So I decided just to pick the best wheels, protect myself from the wind, and in this case it meant fall on the wheel of Revolution. And she led me out to the very end, and I was very grateful, but also confused. Terun sprints from the left. I could not hold those watts, and she very much earned and deserved that first place. I rolled in second, and then that was it. And I'm including this clip here at the end because it was just lovely sportsmanship that I was happy to catch on camera, and I'm excited for more racing next season.